Yo, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen, and whatever else you choose to identify? It is your boy, Cam from Tweeking Media, and I got the boy, Trellsav. Go ahead and say hi to the people.
What's poppin'?
Yes, sir, and we are back with another episode of our Nerd Culture podcast, Attack on Culture. Got a lot of goofies to talk about in terms of the gaming industry. But yeah, as you can tell, your boy done moved into a little situationes. Your boy done upgraded. I'm still working on stuff. Obviously, you see the boxes over there. I'm working on getting everything set up as far as like my display case and stuff like that. But by the time you see me next episode, you gonna know I'm a nerd. That's all I'm gonna say. You gonna know I'm a nerd. Come I had things set up. So, all that being said, guys, let's take care of some housekeeping before we jump into the episode. If you're hearing us on the YouTube side, y'all already know what to do. Go ahead, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. If you have not, click on that bell icon to be notified of all future posts that we drop on this channel. And share the video across all your fellow nerds. Help us get to 1K sub, guys. That is our goal for the end of this year. And also be sure to check out our other content that we have available on our Tweeking Media platform. We have Threes from the Ring if we want to hear things about sports, more specifically wrestling and basketball teams. Be sure to check that out. Check out the recent episode. Detro, go ahead and get the people. What did y'all talk about last episode, just in case somebody wants to click on it and they interested?
Oh man, last episode we talked about a bunch. We talked about wrestling in terms of like my favorite topic out of that, because if you listen to the pod, I despise watching wrestling at the moment. So we kind of had a different topic in terms of OVW. I think it's 2002 versus NXT 2012. I'm getting a static a little heat from some people from what I said. But tune in. Hopefully y'all agree with me. And then on the basketball side, we previewed the Eastern Conference, talking about the teams that, we're going to think do good, do bad, give y'all the standards and y'all takes on what's going to happen. Tune in this week, I should say, not next week, but this week coming up. We're going to detail the Western Conference. Hopefully we don't talk that much about wrestling because I can't stand it. But we're going to have fun talking about the West and things of that nature.
All right. So there you go. If you a sports nerd, tune in. Show us some love. Also, we have Views from the Couch. Working on some things coming up for that, which is a series that Detrell and I do. We go delve a little bit deeper into games that we can't fully cover on the Attack on Culture podcast. Gotcha on the Gotcha, which is something that I do, which is degenerate gotcha gaming. So if you are someone who clicked on here and you play Goddess of Victory Nikke, Honkai Star Rail, Triple Z, Wuthering Waves, Uma Musume, check out that content on the Gotcha on the Gotcha playlist on the channel. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Yeah. So we got a lot of content that's available for you guys. Also, be sure to check out, because we're not going to cover it on this episode, but I know the fall anime season is kicking up. The homie Chris J, he did drop a episode of a little special podcast episode detailing some things to look out for as far as the fall anime season. So check that out if you want to hear our thoughts on what is coming up this upcoming season. So all that being said, guys, also be sure to follow us on our social media platforms: TikTok, YTM Clips, Twitter, at Attack on Culture, and Facebook, Tweeking Media. Links to all those will be in the description box down below. So let's get right into it with the first thing. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. All right. I got to be real with y'all. A lot of y'all ain't gamers, and that's perfectly okay. It is okay to not be a gamer and play video games. Just because you pick up a basketball does not make you an athlete. You just might like playing a sport. But this year has been absolutely insane for gaming. Crazy year. If anybody tells you differently, I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm gatekeeping. They don't play video games. There has been something for everybody that has dropped this year. It's crazy. So real quick, we are going to go over some upcoming things that we think you guys should be looking out for. I'm going to start a little bit in September, because the end of September kind of bled into October. So we're going to touch a little bit on September, and then we're going to touch upon the games that you need to be looking out for in October. So September 25th, for all you horror game fans and Silent Hill fans, Silent Hill F dropped. Heard some really good things about it. So check it out if you're interested. We also had, for all you racing game fans who might be getting a little bit tired of Mario Kart World, because there's been a lot of controversy happening on that game, Sonic Racing Cross Worlds dropped. A lot of people have been loving it. So if you're a racing game fan and also a Sonic fan game, be sure to check that out. September 30th, we had the drop of Final Fantasy Tactics, the Ivalice Chronicles, which is a remaster of a really, really well-beloved PlayStation classic of Final Fantasy Tactics. So a lot of quality of life updates, a lot of improvements, and voice acting on top of that. So if you are someone who's always wanted to give this game a shot because you've heard people talk about it, and now is your chance. The only caveat is that it's 60 bones. So depending on how you view that, you may want to wait for a sale, but I recommend you check it out. So
I'm copping.
It's a cop for us, but hey, that's just us. October 2nd. So this is what kicks off the month of October. We had 2 banger drops on the exact same day. Hopefully your wallet can keep up with this. So we had Ghost of Yotei, which we're going to be talking about, giving my impressions on it a little bit later on this episode. So stay tuned for that. And we also had Digimon Story Time Stranger. So this is the 3rd of the entry for the Digimon Story series. The last one came out during the PS4 era, and this is during the PS4 era where you could cross save to your PlayStation Vita. So it's pretty old, but I've heard some really good things about it. It is a banger of an RPG. Been a crazy year for RPG, so check it out if you're interested. For all you FPS fans, October 10th, Battlefield 6 drops. I know a lot of people are hyped for this. A lot of people have said some good things about the closed alpha and the betas. It's going to be one of them ones. So if you were someone who was disappointed with 2042, stay tuned for that one. Little Nightmares 3, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to. I think this is probably going to be a big streamer game, because I know a lot of people tend to play that. So if you're a horror game fan, check that out. October 22nd, we have the release of Dispatch, which is the Telltale game about like you being a superhero and dispatching, former superhero who is on call dispatching other superheroes to handle out tasks. Looks like a pretty interesting game. I'm a big fan of Telltale, so I'm definitely going to check it out. October 23rd, so the very next date, if you are a fan of JRPGs and you happen to own a Switch 2, the Switch port of Persona 3 Reload will be dropping. All of us I've played the game like 20,000 times, so it's not anything that I'm going to be checking out specifically, but if you own a Switch 2 and you've never had the chance to play it, it is a definite cop. It was in our top 10 RPGs of last year, and you will not be disappointed. And we also have a beat 'em up game as well for you beat 'em up fans with a classic arcade. We have Double Dragon, a Revive. Haven't done too much research on it, but from some of the trailers that I've seen and some of the state of plays and stuff, it seems pretty interesting. So give it a shot if you are interested in beat 'em up games. October 29th, we have the Outer Worlds 2, which I know a lot of people are looking forward to because Obsidian can cook, and a lot of people really like the first one. So if you are a big fan of Western RPGs, you got a banger dropping this month as well. And then for all you looter shooter peeps, October 30th is Arc Raiders. So I haven't done too much into this, but I have heard when the betas were out, a lot of people were saying that this game was one of them ones as far as looter shooters. So if you were a big fan of the genre, be sure to check it out towards the end of this month. Well, before the very last day of the month. So crazy month for games. Crazy year for games. Like I said before, if you talk to anybody and they tell you straight up to your face that this has been a boring year for gaming, they're not gamers, and that is perfectly fine. That is okay. But we here who play and enjoy video games, we eating. Hopefully your wallet can keep up with it too. So moving on from that, so we had a couple shows to talk about, because I mean we do some anime things, you know what I'm saying? We do play video games, but we also watch some of that live action stuff too. Well, I don't. Detrail does. So Detrail, go ahead and talk about some of the shows that you're gonna be watching. What do you want to start off with?
I kind of want to set a backdrop.
Okay.
So I've been watching. Well, I caught up to Gen V, and I've been watching Peacemaker since it aired. Apologies to the people who want to hear my opinion on things that don't involve video games. I'll be forgetting to talk about these things. I would like to start off first with Peacemaker and then go into Gen V. Peacemaker has been a great season so far. John Cena is flexing those chops when it comes to acting. The whole cast, really. I can't think of her name, but she plays Adebayo. She's killing it. The whole season is really, really good. And it kind of started off with Peacemaker finding another universe in which he is beloved and that everything is perfect for him. And for the black folk that was watching, we was all like, yo, in this other universe, we don't see nobody else. And we was all thinking like, something ain't right. And I knew someone right when his father was kind of like portrayed as a good person. If you watch the original Peacemaker, you know why his father wasn't a good person. And I was like, something ain't right. Then he comes to the episode that just aired recently. And you found out that is a universe in which the mustache man won. And it's just full of white people. and it is absolutely hilarious because Adebayo is walking down the street and everybody was like, hey, what you doing here? And they chased her down the block. I'm not going to spoil what happened, but RP to one of the other characters, not her, that helped her. But it's by far a good season. You know, some people mad because some people don't like to see Yahtzees in a very bad light, unfortunately. But for us, we like to punch them. We like to see them die because they are traitors. So I am perfectly fine with watching this Peacemaker season. So if you didn't, get a chance to lock in and watch Peacemaker, go ahead and lock in now. It's on HBO Max. One of the only reasons to have that goddamn app. So until the Game of Thrones stuff drop again. So or some random banger that they fall upon, like Succession or something like that. So, but all that being said, shout out to Peacemaker. Now, going on to Gen V, I want to say this. Me, my friend group, we kind of fallen off on the boys.
Hard. I didn't even know this thing came out.
So, and it's not any fault to like any of like the actors or anything like that, but it's more fault to like writing, and so to speak. And it's not that the story itself is bad. It's more of like the way they write characters and the way they like super like, I don't know, heavy-handed things, right? So you compare that to Peacemaker, in which it took time for them to find out, like, hey, these niggas some Nazis, Yahtzees for TikTok. On The Boys, it's full-fledged right-wing Trump parody, which is funny for like 3 episodes, and then it gets really, 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 really tiring if you keep watching. All right,
bro, we get it.
We get it. You know what I mean? Gen V typically does the same thing, but with a more of a focus on the people and the characters thing. And the reason it does that because Homelander is not that big within that show. He is very, very like prominent in the show, but he's not acting, so we don't have to see so much of the Trump stuff. It's good. I'm not gonna say it's the greatest thing, but it's good. There's some of the story beats. I think one thing that they did perfect. I don't know if this for sure, but it seems that way. We know we lost one of the actors that played a character in that show, and RP. But I think they did a great way of writing him out and replacing him with his father. And his father is doing really good actor, really good little side plot that they going on. Now, to talk more about it, it seems like to keep the show going, there's going to be a lot of things that changes the main character's mind. I don't really want to spoil it, but you kind of can see like they positioned her to be something big. Even if you look in the trailers or like the episode things, they kind of say like, oh, you can be stronger than Homelander. So they kind of pumping her head up. She is flat out, let me just say it. She's like the main reason for this season. One of the things that Starlight made an appearance in the episode, one of the things that they came out and said is like, we need you to look up this project that Vault was working on called Odessa, and everybody, all right, let's go through Odessa. And they found what Odessa was, and it's the I can't think of her name right now, but the lady with the blood. And now it kind of showing like how powerful she is within like Vault. And if you're wondering how, if you look and you see them back in the school, and you wonder like how the heck they get back into school, we technically don't know that just yet. But it is said that, Vault said, hey, look, read the script, say that you guys, are against Starlight and things of that nature, and you good. And so, shenanigans is going to happen. I like it. I don't think it's as good as Peacemaker. I don't think it's as good as like the first couple of seasons of The Boys. But if you need some of that Boys like hit, go ahead.
You need that fix.
Get it. I do want to say this. It is funny that 2 shows coming out, because in The Boys, this happened in The Boys because Stormfront was flat out a Yahtzee, right? But there was a situation in which they opened the door in that college and found out one of the scientists was a super Yahtzee. So I just found it funny because I know people who, for some apparent reason, hate being called a Yahtzee, but also hate when Yahtzees are being portrayed in a bad light. See that on TV. I know for a flipping fact that they are steaming, that so many TV shows are just saying, yeah, Yahtzee's bad. It was on Twitter today too. A lot of people was mad at James Gunn saying he done lost the plot, when, and especially in comics, niggas been punching Hitler since I don't know when.
I'm sick.
Like it's been Red Skull for Captain America is a Hitler allegory.
All right.
Captain America punched Hitler. So I'm pretty sure Superman decked that nigga a couple times too. Nobody likes Nazis, but certain people, Nazis. And I probably can't TikTok clip that because they don't play about that word. But yeah, watch these shows. This is a new thing for me on this podcast, actually reviewing a TV show. So, but let's, especially in I'll say this season in which we coming back full-fledged and full force, I'm going to try to keep y'all up to date with the things that I'll watch. Hopefully go see some movies if I'm not, doing other things. But yeah, but that's it. That's it on that. We can go to what's next.
All right. So yeah, let us know if you have been keeping up with Peacemaker and also Gen V. Let us know your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Yay, nay, meh. We want to know. We want to engage with you. So let us know. All right. So on to the next thing, which is going to be games. So I touched upon this in our upcoming games segment, but one of the games obviously that's coming out, PlayStation exclusive, Ghost of Yotei or Yotei, don't know how to pronounce it. I don't know if it's tomatoes, I'm just gonna say Yotei for now. Came out, and definitely want to talk about it because I've been playing, if I'm not busy continuing to get also my moving situation finalized, I've been playing that game a lot. And so yeah, let's go ahead. Hey, it's a crazy year, bro. This is an insane year. Off the bat, I want to just say it like this. If we're talking art direction, if we're talking environmental detail, if we're talking graphics, Ghost of Yotei has it.
Oh yeah, it's
hands
I think it's a 2-man race. I know like artistically Expedition 33 is fire, right?
Yes.
But in terms of just like graphic and pushing that engine,
if we're talking environmental details, there's no competition. No competition. I'm saying this as someone who has played the out of Expedition 33. I played it. I platinumed it. That means I did multiple playthroughs. I've seen all the areas. And trust me, before people get mad, Expedition 33 is still my game of the year. Nothing's beaten.
No, I agree with you. I'm not talking about Expedition 33 though.
You talking about Death Stranding?
Yeah, they used the heck out of that.
I've seen some stuff. If you want to argue it, perfectly fine. But there were some legitimate sections. I'm talking about you riding to your house in that initial segment, and I'm like, bro, this is I've not seen like the draw. Oh my, the draw distance in that game too. There's a segment where you climb up uh Mount Yotei, and you can just overlook the world, and it is. I'm just like, dog. No, Sucker Punch has it. Again, you can argue Death Stranding too, but it's that game. If we're, I'm gonna say, if we're talking about how they present the like segments where there's just literal, it's just unintentional cinema where you're just riding your horse and you just see like all this stuff. The grass is moving perfectly, the tree, like everything. Ghost of Yotei has it. In my personal opinion, if we're talking about from a purely presentation standpoint, I don't know what type of voodoo spell Sucker Punch has going on in that studio. There were times, there have been times when I played, because I'm not a huge. If you look at the video games that I play and games that I consider the best of all time, I'm not a huge graphics person, but I am someone who can appreciate really good graphics. And I'm telling you, there were legitimate times where I had to put the controller down and go, holy crap, this is insanely beautiful. Like it's crazy. So off rip, if you're a graphics whore, this game was made for you. Like this game was made for you. I know some people are gonna go crazy with the photo mode too. There's just so many great set pieces you can do in that game. But aside from just graphics, I'll give my thoughts, and then Detroit, I'll let you cook. So if you were coming into this game, you'd have thought that this was going to be the worst game of all time, and you know why. We don't have to touch upon it. Anything that isn't of the norm is considered woke. So the go woke, go broke crowd hates this game. They were like, oh, this should have been a sequel with Jin. And it's like, his story arc was over with. They never really confirmed that Ghost of Yotei was going to be a sequel. It just takes place within the same universe. So I'm just tired of arguing with y'all, because y'all don't play games. Y'all just want to get mad at something. So, I mean, it's not worth talking to y'all about this kind of stuff. So for people who actually play video games and enjoy playing video games, her being a woman you're going around killing people, man. That's it. It is a typical revenge plot. Your village is burnt to the ground, or I guess your family home is burnt to the ground. Your parents die, your brother die, and the main character's name is Atsu. She vows vengeance against Lord Saito, that is the main antagonist of this video game, and she becomes what is known as the Onryu, which is a vengeful spirit in Japanese spirituality, mostly portrayed as like a tall woman with like if you've seen like any Japanese horror game, the tall woman with like the long black hair, stuff like that. That's typically kind of like that spirit, and they play a lot into that in this game, as far as like kind of similar to the first game with Jin being the ghost. So in this game, you are the Onryu, and they play into that with a really I like the mechanic of the you kill a certain people. If you don't get hit, you press L3, R3, and then she does this thing where everybody gets scared of her. The first person that you do your skill on falls to the ground. Is like, please don't kill me. And you just walk up to him and just stab him. So it's really good. Like, gameplay is great too. I think that if you're a big fan of action, if you're a big fan of the action game genre, you are going to enjoy this game a lot. If you are a fan of like, this game doesn't hold your hand. It really is like, once you kind of get past that home area, the game is like, all right, go on, do whatever you want to do. And you can just go and explore. You can pick up bounty hunts to do, where you go around killing specific targets to get more money. You can locate these shrines, which it acts as the way to you to get more abilities. You can locate what are called another feature, which is memories, where Atsu will recall something that happened in her past. You live out that memory, and then like you go back into the present, and then like there's some type of charm or ability or something that you can learn while experiencing her memory. There's just a lot of stuff to do. You do have the main quest, which is ultimately to defeat Saito, but there's just so much. You're not going to be at a lack of not doing anything. There's always something for you to do. And this is one of those games, speaking personally, as someone who I don't care for open world games. You tell me your game is open world, it's in one ear out the other. It does absolutely nothing for me. I don't care about, oh, I have all these, hundreds of hours for you to explore. I don't care. I'm a grown man. I got other things to do, other games to play. But playing this game, it does encourage me to go like, all right, well, let me go off the beaten path and let me see what's here. Or like, you'll just be walking, you'll come across a random camp, you'll talk to some NPCs to find out more about the game, or they're traders, so they can give you certain cosmetics and things like that. So it's really cool. Like, this game encourages you to just do whatever you want to do. It doesn't hold you by the hand. It doesn't tell you that you absolutely need to do these things in a specific order. It's depending on what you want to do. Collecting, there are certain story objectives that have you collect certain weapon, like multiple weapons that you can use. So far, I only have the katana and the dual katana. I'm trying to get the nadi, which I think is like a spear. That's my next objective, to locate the sensei for that. But yeah, there's lots of weapon varieties, lots of ranged options, quick tools you can do. You do this one hunt. This guy gives you access to like a smoke screen that you can throw at your enemies. So there's just so much stuff to do in the game. And while you're doing it, you can just look at it and appreciate just how freaking gorgeous that game is. So this year is crazy, man. This is a crazy year. If you have a PlayStation 5, I mean, I would say it's a must buy, in my opinion. If you have a PlayStation 5, there's no negative to not getting this game now. You're going to get your money's worth, and it's not a disappointment. It's one of them ones, man. It's one of them ones. So that's it for me, Detroit. What you got?
Yo, so I can't agree with you more on everything you said. I think that this game, there's always talk about sequels, right? And I low-key think some people are dumb. I hate doing that. I don't like talking bad about people. I think people are dumb. I don't think people know what sequels are or what sequels are supposed to be in terms of gaming. That's like, hey, telling the Persona series, like, hey, don't be turn-based no more in this sequel. I know. I need you to be a
saying that Persona 4 is a sequel of Persona 3. It's not.
Yeah. I don't. It's weird, but I agree, man. This is a banger. Another one. It was expected. Sucker Punch didn't miss with the first one. It's not gonna miss with this. I don't think Sucker Punch missed in general with the games that they have created. So going back to the Infamous series, it's a banger. You said it hit the nail on the coffin on pretty much everything. To go back to the environment, like that initial sequence of going back to your crib, fire, but also when you leaving the crib to go to that little small settlement and the horses start following you.
Yes.
Somebody thought of that, and them niggas cook. Sucker Punch, if you watching us, get your game some glaze. Bro, put some dollars in bro pocket. I'm trying to see if I can talk about something that you ain't really touch on. Let me talk about Atsu in general. I think people want to compare her to Jin so much, in which Jin's story was so revolved around the samurai code, but also his quest of vengeance. Right. And I think vengeance and revenge is the same thing, but I think there is two different ways to go about it. There's Jin's way of, completely losing yourself and what are you about to seek that vengeance.
Becoming the ghost.
And then there's Atsu's way of using that vengeance to power you, right?
She don't care about honor.
Yeah, it never was about honor. It was about filling that void that he took, right? So in the game, the way the game puts the story around that is amazing. Like, going back and forth from your childhood to show this means something to me. You know what I mean? Everything that you took from me, it means something to me. Every time that I go and I play my guitar, I'm sorry if I don't got the name. I know it's not a guitar, but
I think it's the shamisen.
Yeah. Every time I play it, I think of my mother. Every time I strike and upgrade my sword, I think of my father. What you took from me, I gotta get my get back. And she does a good job. I think her being compared as the Onryo, that's more fire than the ghost to me. Because she is a spirit of vengeance, and people see
they literally fear
go.
her. Like they're like, oh, it's the Onyu.
It starts like, you the guy who killed the snake. I don't want no smoke with you. And it goes forward and forward. And a little detail in the game as you keep playing, Cam, we're not that far apart, but as you keep playing, you will see your wanted poster around the
increase,
area. And it increases by your infamy. That's attention to detail.
Yeah, like the cutscene. I think it's the cutscene right after you get the dual katana, and then it's like you see people gather around your poster going like, "Oh, it's the person who beat the snake. Yeah, we got to I'm going to collect that bounty," and then it just cuts back to you, and it's like that's fire, man. It's cool.
And when you compare it to Jin's situation of where he is in a situation where he's a shogun and the Mongols are destroying him, but he has to keep that creed, but also watch his home burn to the ground. He has to be a no one. He has to be a nobody to say this. She's actually getting praise for what she's doing. She is being a liberator to the people of Yotei and things of that nature. She gets, sorry for a small spoiler, Kim, but she gets gifts given to her when you go into a town that and it's like gifts in honor of her. Now not everybody know that she is, but they were like, hey man, they left some gifts for her. Take it. And it's not nothing crazy, some fish, materials and stuff, but it's still gifts, and that shows what she is to Yotei, right? She don't have to be in the shadows like Jin. She comes up to his men and be like, yo, yeah, I killed the snake. I'm about to kill you. And when I'm done killing you, I'm going to kill him.
She doesn't care about honor, so there's no like, but she's going around cowardly kill. She don't care about that. No, she wants revenge. They killed her. He literally nailed her to a tree that was burning down as her mom and dad are dead, her brother is dead, trees burning. And you mean to tell me she's gonna be like, but I must be. She wasn't raised on the samurai code. Her dad was just a blacksmith.
Yeah.
Mom was just a normal, looked like a stay-at-home housewife. Dad was a blacksmith, but encouraged his daughter. He raised both his daughter and son together in a way where it's like, yeah, y'all both want to become samurai, cool. Because I know a lot of people are going like, well, back in the day, typical Japanese father would not approve of his daughter using a sword. Shut up, man. Yeah. Shut up.
It's terrible.
Do you have anything better to do than be afraid of women? like seriously. In a fictional video game world where I do this and someone falls to their ground saying, it's the Onryu, and I can stab them, do you think I care about what private part they have? It does not matter. Her being a woman and being able to do all this stuff, you can't do that stuff. You will never be able to do that stuff. So shut up.
Yeah. Shoot. I want to say this, and it just goes back to attention to detail. They not only put it in the environment of this game, but into the story. I can't think of the name of the tree that's at her house, right? But
it starts with a G.
Yeah, but the beautiful thing about that tree is that it represents her as a character. That's a tree that you can take the branches off. You can strike with lightning. You can catch on fire.
You can burn. Yeah.
But when it's time to bloom, it's going to bloom again, right? And you can't take down that tree. It represents her character so much, right? And that's what I mean by like when people have these conversations about woke game and woke this, and they look at things at a surface level. They don't like the actor because she's anti-fascist, non-binary, things of that nature. They don't like that she's a woman. I'm like, you missed the point of like what's a good game. Now, if you don't like games or like open world games, like because you got to drive the horse to the next destination, I understand you on that aspect. You know, I can understand when things get boring for you on that end. Or if you don't like games that, you know, and it's not a joke, that's not a basketball or shooting a gun, that's your preference and that's cool. But to take a good game like this and to strip it down of its core of what it is, it creates a bad taste.
You just can't talk about these games, bro. I'm sorry. We got it. And I don't want to sound like a gatekeeper, but like just stay in your lane. You know what I'm saying? You want to talk about 2K, you want to talk about Fortnite, Call of Duty, all those games, that's perfectly fine. But then to come over and to try to have a conversation about Yotei in the sense of like, oh, well, this game, you can't come over here, bro. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like it's just because you don't play these type of games. So like your insight and your value to the conversation that we're trying to have when we're talking about gaming, and it's not even valid criticism. It's literally surface level. Game is woke equals bad. Like you add nothing to the conversation around actual gaming.
You're a tourist, and there's no other. And I hate that term, right? Because people use that term in such a context of, say, for instance, if you talking bad about like volleys or something like that, you use the tourist term to say like you don't know culture, nigga. But no, in this aspect, you really are a tourist, right? You don't know the significance of these things. Just like if I go to Japan and I see a bunch of torii gates, I'm a tourist. I gotta ask, why is this such a significance in this providence or in this place, bro? So like, it's a disservice to these people that created such a great game, right? And I look forward to the Game Awards because instead of it being this game about to be game of the year instead of this game, or like how people did Last of Us during that time. Yeah. And I looked at The Last of Us. I look back at The Last of Us 2 winning. You know, I like that game. I love that game, right? So I look back and I'm like, well, I like that game. I don't know if it should have won. You know, Final Fantasy VII Remake was right there. Original Ghost of Tsushima was right there. But if you look back and see the games that was nominated, you realize, damn, even if you played 25% of those games, bro, I had fun. And when you're going to look back on this year and when we watching the Game Awards, and if you're not a person whose whole identity is set upon your favorite game winning, and you played as many games as me and Cam did, and we didn't even scratch the surface.
It's a celebration of like, holy crap, this is a stacked year.
It's going to be a celebration of like, dog. When you go into this and you realize that the games that we thought was going to be there in the beginning is going to get knocked off, not because they was bad, it's just because, Hades 2 got a 96.
Way better genre pushers came out.
Yeah.
Not that your game is bad, it's just elevation.
Hades 2 got 96. Silksong had the highest thing to hit, the highest peak to hit, and it hit it, knocked it out the park.
And also crashed multiple game stores.
Expedition 33 took everybody by storm to the point, if you even trying to have some fake slander for the game, niggas look at you stupid, right? Death Stranding, Kingdom Come Deliverance, both hits that people was gonna be like, it's just gonna be another sequel of a game, and blew people mad to the point that when people look at Death Stranding and see the score they got, they was like, yo, the first one wasn't like this. What made this one this good?
It's people who went and got the original game just so they could play the sequel.
Well, so it is games that I didn't touch yet. Donkey Kong, I didn't touch Kingdom Come Deliverance yet. It's games like, I don't think me and you, we both ain't played Hades 2 yet, right?
Nope. I plan on getting it though, but yeah, this year alone, like that's what I'm saying. That's the theme is like, if you are having a conversation with someone who claims to be a gamer, and they're talking about like this has been a dry year for gaming, there's no good games out. Genuinely, they don't play video games. Well, they play video games, but they're not a gamer. And it's just, and again, I'm not trying to gatekeep, but like as on this podcast, me and Detro, we play a lot of video games. That's the main reason why this thing started. This whole podcast, this whole channel started because we were a bunch of nerds who played a bunch of video games. We're like, hey, let's give our thoughts on it. This year, we're going to look back at 2025 when we're all like super unks and go like, "Oh, that was a real good game. Yeah, that was a good game." And you know what I'm saying? When we got youngins and stuff, and we talk about, and they come up as gamers and they go like, "Well, what's one of the best years of games you had?" And we look back at 2025 and it's like, yeah. So I think all in all, I think Detroit, you want to add anything else?
I want to go back and shoot. I think I lost it. I just want to go back and say, like, give game his chance. I was talking to Beans and them. It's gonna be funny when somebody look away from this podcast. Like, he had a jacket on. Did he look back? He ain't got no jacket on. But I was talking to Beans and them about, you know, the nuance in gaming conversation. There's a nuance to it.
Yeah.
It's a hobby that got emulated because people are considering this hobby, this pastime, art. And I have no problem with that, right? So me knowing that, I know there's a nuance to talking about games, right? I'm never going to tell somebody that Silk Song is mid because I can't play it, bro. I know me. Right. I'm not big on Metroidvanias. I know I'm going to get cooked in Silk Song and feel like I wasted my money. But I look at that score and see the love that people put into that game and see the love that people have for that community and see the love that people have for that them devs and things of that nature. I'm going to look at it and be like, it's warranted. And one last thing. This year is not over for celebration of games. Get off your high horse. Like, there's games that we ain't talk about yet. Like Final Fantasy Tactics. People hate remakes. That's the new thing now. That Final Fantasy Tactics looking amazing, right? There's just
a lot of people stream it, and people have been loving it.
There's an indie game that came out. I can't think of his name, but it's like a vampire survival 3D version of Vampire Survivor. Taking Steam by storm right now. It's one of the top sellers. Go play it if you got the Steam joint going on. Arc Raiders. You was calling it a looter shooter, Kev. It's a distraction shooter. So when I put it in the TikTok,
I'm sorry. Yeah.
I'll put the ass distraction right there. But like Arc Raiders, there's not one bad thing somebody has said about Arc Raiders, bro. And I never seen that when it comes to a shooting genre game ever, bro. Nobody has said anything bad about that game. And that's coming out at the end of this month. And then there's games that haven't gotten release dates that might get shadow dropped. You might see a Mario game come out. We might see this. We might see this before the Game Awards. It's just so much, bro. It's so much.
And if you are an RPG lover like me and Detroit, bro, this year we have been fed a full course meal of greatness, bro.
No, and then next year is looking crazy, even though people are gonna move their game releases around because of one big thing. But I think next year is gonna be good. It's gonna be overpowered by Wolverine and GTA 6. The 007 game looking good. Those type of things. Nintendo gonna throw out their good game for the year next year as well.
Yeah, Fire Emblem's gonna drop next year.
Fire Emblem's gonna drop. So it's gonna be good conversation. It might not be as packed this year, but it's gonna be good conversation. But 2027, that might be one for the books, bro. Because if you think about it, that might be part 3 of Final Fantasy. That might be Kingdom Hearts 4.
No, don't say that.
You don't think so?
Not.
That might be, they're going to announce the new consoles that year. Things of that nature. 2027 might be crazy, bro. 2027 might be insane. It might be literally insane. But, yo, I can speak for Kel when I say it. Play Ghost of Yotei. It's good, bro.
It's really good. That's our TikTok version.
Yeah.
Ghost of Yotei. Play it. It's really good. All right.
Niggas who said it's not good line.
Yeah. They don't play games, or they're they want to be angry. Speaking of being angry, though, we talked about a lot of good that happened when it comes to video games this year, and undoubtedly, when it comes to the software and playing video games, but the gaming industry this year has been not that great. So we're gonna be moving on to two main topics. We'll start with the recent one first, which is EA announcing that they are going private. Now, let's just put a disclaimer out there. If you are someone who you hear something that sounds remotely political and you go, ew, I don't like it, it makes me icky, you may want to skip ahead or just skip ahead to us slandering Xbox. That's going to be our next conversation with Xbox tweaking on the Game Pass. But for now, this was more recent. This happened this week. Xbox stuff happened this week, but it also happened. Some stuff happened last. It's a culmination of a lot of things that we're going to talk about. But the EA thing, it kind of, I don't know if it would you say it came out of nowhere? Like it was just this happened. Like so, what? Go ahead.
If you like me, I don't know where this has came from, bro. But I like gaming news now. I hate it with a passion. It's been talked about EA, looking for potential buyers and going private and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So it's not necessarily new, but it was kind of like a shock drop that was the case.
Xbox there's been a lot of rumors. The EA stuff just kind of happened, and we were just like, whoa, what?
Exactly.
So, just so in case you don't know, you're unaware, EA has agreed to be acquired by PIF, Silver Lake, and Affinity Partners for $55 billion. A lot of money. EA was, I don't know if they still are, but I think prior to that, they were about $20 billion in debt. So it's all money. This whole thing is just about money. But the reason why the conversation around this is important, it needs to be talked about from us as gamers, is how this might affect studios, things of that nature, future game releases and things of that nature. Because EA, y'all know EA. EA is not a company that a lot of people look at fondly, and especially when it comes to when studios or just publishers get acquired, typically the very first thing that happens is mass layoffs. We've seen it happen a lot this year when it comes to Microsoft in general, which again, Microsoft bought a whole bunch of companies, and what have they shown for it? Canceled games. They've canceled games, closed gaming studios, and had a bunch of mass layoffs, and nothing to show for all those gaming studios that they bought. So it's the same thing with EA. It's a scary situation because, one, mass layoffs. Two, are they going to cut corners or cut costs when it comes to certain gaming studios that they have? And there's also who bought them. Again, this is just a disclaimer. You're somebody who you're talking about politics that makes me scared. PIF, I believe it's PIF, is a company that is owned by Saudi Arabia. They've been in the news a lot recently, as far as just all over the place. Even when it comes to, I don't know if you saw this, Detro, but the whole comedy thing.
Yeah,
that whole thing too. So like, Saudi Arabia has been in the news a lot, and a lot of people, in case you're wondering, like, well, why are people, why? Because of the whole humanitarian thing. Yeah. If you know, like Saudi Arabia, when it comes to a lot of things going on in that country, human rights is a big issue. And so as an American company, aligning yourself with someone that does not value human rights is not a good look for your brand. There's also, I think you said it was Silver Lake, Detro. That's the one that's owned by
in-law. It's one of Trump's daughter husbands.
Yeah. So there's implications when it comes to stuff like that too.
Like how they do things and why the reason they purchase things, like it's so new. And except for the Saudi Arabia stuff, like there's and I want to be blatant when I say that this will not be a TikTok clip, right? Because this will inherently get clipped, like clock.
Oh yeah.
So when I say this, just know it will never be on the reason people are skeptical. Saudi Arabia funded 9/11. So when people see America's go, and that's not like a conspiracy thing and stuff like that. It's documented, CIA documented, defense document. That's what they did. They defended the terrorists. I mean, they funded the terrorists that did that. So when people see people go there and take money, people argue like, hey, why the citizens of Saudi Arabia can't get those entertainments. It's not that. It's because it's not the citizens paying for it. This is purely paid by their government.
The elite,
right? Yeah, the
upper class,
paid by them. So this is, and there's reasons why Saudi is doing a lot of things in entertainment because most of their money and wealth came from oil. That's slowly not becoming a thing anymore in terms of like the energy that we use in terms of nations, like a lot of electrical, a lot of, things that are hybrid, stuff like that. Clean energy is kind of a big thing now. So Saudi is like, we got to find a way to make money through other means. And that's why they do a lot of stuff on entertainment-wise. That's why you see Live Golf. That's why you see the Radia Comedy Festival. That's why you see WWE and UFC over there a lot because they're trying to become more of an entertainment hub. But who it's paid by is the reason it's talked about the way it's talked about, right? It's, it's just a weird thing, right? The Silver Lake situation, that could just be people getting money. But if you want the tinfoil cap on, it's another arm the administration putting they selves in terms of like not only like propaganda but control over things, right? Yep. In terms of like space and entertainment, so the way they control TV and broadcasters, they found their way and put themselves into video games and the way they control video games, and it's not necessarily the greatest look, right? When certain people from those companies buy things. But EA itself, it's good for them. They got money. They go private. They really.
It's good for the executive leaderships.
Yeah, they really can't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
they're good. It's gonna be sad. I'm scared for Respawn. To tell you the truth, I am terribly scared for Respawn.
And also, PIF. Another thing is PIF is known to shut down a lot of gaming studios that they've acquired.
I'm terrified for Respawn. They said we were supposed to get a Jedi Survivor 3. I don't know about that one.
Again, when studios when people get acquired, they use the first thing they look to do is to cut costs, and they start with the people.
Yeah,
so that's where the mass layoffs happen, and then once they factor out the humans, then they move on to the studios. Like which studios? You're not making us a lot of money. I don't care about. And again, a lot of people who are going to go, they are business minded, very business minded. They don't care about reviews. They don't care about Metacritic scores. They don't care about none of that stuff. What they care about is how much of a profit did that game generate. So even if it's something like, but this game was beloved, it got so many great scores, blah, 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 blah. But if it didn't make enough of a profit, gone. So that's the scale. Again, it's the scary thing about when it comes to announcements like this, is because when we're talking about games, when we're talking about being able to play video games, mass layoffs impact people developing video games, and gaming studios getting closed down affects games that may have been announced for the future or that have been rumored to be announced to be gone forever. And that's the worst part about it. So if you want the non-political version of it, this is not a good look, because it's going to impact potential games coming down the pipeline when it comes to EA as a publisher. So that's it. Detroit, you got anything else to add? All right, so now that we got that out the way, now it's time to move on to probably the biggest goofy of the week. Probably the year. I'm not gonna lie to you. Xbox. So this was, and I got it pulled up. It's like a string. It's like a domino effect. It is literally like something gets tweeted out, hours later, a day later, something else gets tweeted out. So this all stems, if I'm not mistaken, September 29th. So September 29th, and I'm using Wario64 tweets. Shout out to Wario64, great source for gaming news. But he drops like, hey, this isn't September 29th. I think this is October 1st. Yeah, this is October 1st, I believe. Yeah, this just all happened. So it was the first. It was a rumor that game prices, the game pass price will be increased. Um, so and they also said that the PC Game Pass is going to go away. So that was it. That was October 1st. It was like pretty much in the morning ish. Then Wario64 tweets out that Microsoft confirms the changes to the Game Pass plan. So Essential, Premium, and Ultimate is priced at $29.99. That is 30 schmackerinos, $30 a month. And following that, that's when people heard that news. They also heard that PC Gaming Pass is going away, and people were like, "Oh, it's time to speak with our wallets." A lot of people canceled their Xbox Game Pass subscription, myself included. That actually, you know what? That actually, I was trying to think of a thumbnail. The thumbnail of this is going to be me canceling the confirmation that I canceled my Xbox Game Pass subscription. So I canceled my Xbox Game Pass subscription because no, I'm good on that. And the website to cancel Game Pass subscriptions was overloaded because so many people were like, "Yeah, we're not paying $30 a month for Game Pass." At that point, you might as well save up just to get the game you want yourself. So following that, it was dropped that there's no annual subscription, so there's no yearly plan. Essentially, you have to pay, if you want the ultimate tier, you got to pay $30 for 12 months, which, if you math, is $360 a year for a subscription. And it was a funny tweet. Pretty much everybody's used this joke, but one of the tweets saying like, "Hey, when we asked you to bring back the 360, this is not what we meant." So that was that. Oh, and then let's see. So a lot of other stuff came out, with the big thing being that Xbox lost, I think, $300 million in sales with Call of Duty. Makes sense because a lot of people have Game Pass. Why would I pay for Call of Duty when I could just play it on Game Pass? So a lot of people were saying that is what contributed to Xbox raising the prices on Game Pass. So all in all, and this all happened within like the span of like 2 days. It's October 1st to October 3rd. All of this happened as far as Xbox announcing all these things. And so far we have not, I think the only response we've gotten was, I think it was one of their executive leaders who came out and said like, "Oh, I know a lot of people aren't fans of price increases, but we think that the value that we're adding onto the Game Pass is something that people have been wanting for." And it's like, it just sounds like they're so out of touch with what's happening as far as like our current economy, in terms of like who in their right mind is going, you know what, I love Game Pass. I love having the ability to day one play certain games, play Xbox games on my PC, have access to some cloud gaming stuff. Cool, I love it. But you know what I think I'm sorely missing from Game Pass is paying Xbox more money. I wish I could give Xbox more money so that I can enjoy Game Pass more. And so my thoughts on, I'm gonna let Detrail cook on this one because he's been keeping up with this a lot more than me. As soon as I saw the price increase, I canceled it, and I was like, I'm good on it. But yeah, this is just, I'm very, and I'm honestly, I'm asking an honest question here. This isn't me being sarcastic or anything. So if there's anybody in the comments that can enlighten me on this, what is Xbox's game plan? What is their end goal? Because they increased the price of all their Xbox hardware, and now they're increasing the one thing that people were like, you know what, your hardware sucks, or I don't care about your hardware, but hey, Game Pass is a W. What what is the end goal? What is the end game for what are you trying to do, Xbox? Are you trying to like are you doing like a sports thing where you're trying to tank for the upcoming season, for the next generation of gaming, or what? Because I just don't, as a consumer, as a gamer, and again, this is no console war stuff. So before anybody says some corny stuff like Sony's won and Nintendo won, this is not the conversation for that. What I'm trying to say is that this is just not good for anybody, because who in their right mind wants to pay $30, $360 a year? And also Xbox has teased that they're planning on introducing a free tier for I believe it was a free tier with ads, and you can only play for like 2 hours. I think 2 hours a day, I believe.
It's the cloud. It's their cloud.
Yeah, it's the cloud. Yeah.
And so they don't have ads with it.
1 hour sessions with up to 5 hours free a month, and it'll have ad versions free. So there was a funny one. I don't know if you guys saw this one. It was somebody playing Final Fantasy Remake, and I think it was the scene with Tifa and Cloud. And I think Tifa was like, I'll always be here to support you, Cloud. And then like it cuts, and then it's like Whopper.
Oh yeah, Whopper.
Yeah.
That's fire.
So like, but they did come out and say that it's not going to be like that. It's going to be more so like you watch, like before you play your games, you watch like a 2 minute ad. But like even still, like 5 hours for the entire month. It's not worth it. So I'm yapping, but like my point is to wrap everything up and get my thoughts in a more clarifying way. Xbox, I think what Chris had said on our last podcast episode, and Detroit and I talked about this a little bit before we started recording. I don't see them releasing new hardware next generation. I don't see it. I can't. I don't know, because it's just that I feel like this is going to turn a lot of people off from Microsoft in terms of Xbox as a platform, and with their already abysmal sales this generation, I just don't see them allocating resources to building a next generation hardware console. I just don't see them doing it in the future. I feel like they're just going to focus more so as being a software provider. And I don't know, maybe in some utopian future, maybe hopefully, because a lot of people are voting with their wallets. We're all speaking our mind. We're telling Xbox, not with our words, not through angry Reddit posts or Discord chats or Twitter posts. We are telling them through our actions that we do not support what you're doing with the Game Pass. So hopefully they'll listen, they'll improve the Game Pass back to where it was and add some actual improvements instead of a price increase. But I don't see them coming out with a console in the next generation.
You had a question about like what's the end goal with all this type of stuff, right? And then before somebody say you don't know what you're talking about, this is just a hypothetical. This is me thinking, me brainstorming. That's what I do. I ponder a lot. The end goal was never to be looked at in a good light with these decisions, right? The end goal was to make their money back. That's flat out for the Xbox accusation of Blizzard. Everything that has been like put and people been mad about Xbox since that accusation, every decision they made has been to make that money back from
because
one
been
big
in
thing
the red
that they fanboys were mad about. One big thing that they fanboys was mad about was that we was going to get PlayStation players. I shouldn't say we. PlayStation players was going to get some exclusives and things of that nature. They got mad, but then again, Xbox is like, "Yo, we gotta make our money back." And this is the thing that really I was confused on, right? Is that they put Call of Duty on Game Pass, so people will buy more on Game Pass, but realizing that's taking the sale away from them because people only play. That's like one game that they actually play.
They will go out and buy Call of Duty.
Yeah, they will go out and buy it. So you take away that, like you go on PlayStation charts and you look at what's the highest playing game or the most played. Call of Duty and Fortnite is up there all day.
Yeah, on a month-to-month basis, those are always like top 3.
You go and look at PlayStation's exclusives that has come out, like Ghost of Yotei just hit the 1 million, right? Will they have more players if it was free on PlayStation Plus Premium? Yeah, more players would have probably played the game. But 1 million people buying a $70 premium price game is way more than whatever those subscribers could have been, right? And it looks better to shareholders and things of that nature.
Yeah.
Right. People talk about PlayStation. Why they keep releasing this Last of Us thing? Nigga, people buying it. And they buying it. And that money is talking, right? Because they got a dedicated fan base. The confusion with me with Game Pass, and bro, if you guys are new fans to this thing, hopefully we get more and more people new and listening to us. Bro, I've been screaming from the heavens about the realness of Game Pass, right? And that the subscription model for gaming is not going to work for just one console, right? Yeah. Now, Game Pass was a store on PlayStation, on Steam, on Nintendo, and so on and so forth, in which that Xbox let you use, play their studio games and stuff like that. Then, people are going to cop. I can get Call of Duty, I can get this, that, and that on my PlayStation.
I can get Call of Duty on my PlayStation by getting Xbox Game Pass.
Yeah, people are going to cop. But Game Pass just being on one system and PC, it's not going to help because your system is not selling well. A lot of people bought PS5s. As much as people had the conversation of which console is more powerful, which one looked like a goddamn air purifier, and all that. No one cares. No one cared. People bought the P5, and a lot of people bought Game Pass for PC. That's another thing. So it didn't help your console sales. So now they're trying to recoup money, and the conversation of if they're going to be another hardware, I don't know. They have a partnership with AMD with in terms of like making more products. I don't know if that affects that. That's the reason we got the $1,000 handheld and stuff like that. They have a partnership with them for like 7 years. So, and that was all about building more hardware. I don't know how that affects. A lot of people are saying hardware doesn't necessarily just mean a console. It can be a gaming computer that Xbox puts out. Mm-hmm. And to be honest with you, I think Xbox should go that route of being a premium hardware service, right? And going out and say, look, our fan base of console and PCs intertwine like this anyway. Let's just go full-fledged out and make high-end gaming PCs, high-end products, and continue with, going full-fledged and making these games things people want to play. Because the thing about Game Pass, and which was such a double-edged sword, because if you put Call of Duty on there, people are going to flock there, but you miss the great sales from time to Call of Duty, right? Mm-hmm. If you put said indie title there, real gamers like me and Cam, we're going to go there. Expedition 33 was free on Game Pass. All them other games, we're going to go like, let me play that. If we had Game Pass, I didn't have Game Pass at the time of that, but I'm like, let me go grab, if I did, let me play that for free game of the year. But your mass majority of players are not. Now, to be honest with you, somebody brought up a good point on Twitter, and I hate to say that, Twitter sucks, or X. He said, if you play games, unfortunately, Game Pass is still a better decision than buying games outright, because $360 a year other than, say for instance, you buy 12 games, a game a month, all that $70 premium.
And 80, depending on where you are
and
now.
80, depending on what it is. GTA talking about $100. Game Pass looks like the best option to do that. But the conversation still comes to, is this what the casuals want to play? A person who played games their whole entire life as a hobby, yes, this is what I want to do. I want to play the classics in my childhood. I'm going to play that on Game Pass. I want to play the newer games that come out on Game Pass. And then I will play the Call of Duties and stuff as well. But that is a person who loves the hobby of video gaming. Then you get casuals who say, I'm just playing 2K and Madden
That's not worth $360.
That's not worth $360 a month. You know, a person who putting thousands of hours in KART is not buying multiple games, right? Person, especially 2K. 2K people can't afford to play multiple games because most of their money go to 2K. Now, unless you work something out with Take-Two in which 2K come on Game Pass and Xbox players get discounts or Game Pass players get discounts and stuff like that through VC, it can work. But until then, it is different with the subscription model of like Disney Plus, right? You can't get that game, those things anywhere, those shows anywhere other than Disney Plus or pirated sites. But a lot of people don't like pirated sites. A lot of people don't like seeing pop-up porn and all that type of stuff. So they buy Disney Plus so they can watch The Mandalorian, so they can watch the Marvel series and stuff because you can't get it nowhere else. HBO Max. You're not going to be able to watch Sopranos nowhere else. And people love Sopranos. People love to watch. The difference between that and gaming is that I can live without playing the one good Xbox game that come out this year. Right?
Just because eventually it's going to get ported.
I'm not going like Outer Wilds is going to be big. Outer Wilds 2 is going to be big for Outer Wilds 2 fans. You know what I'm saying? Like the next Halo is going to be big if it's not going to be fully third party for Halo fans, right? The thing about Nintendo is that their fan base shell out that money, subscription or not. They told them niggas $80 for Mario Kart, and they said, cool, it's a good investment. No problem. It was people dying on the hill on TikTok saying, yeah, I'm going to play it. I'm going to pay it. So what? So you go back. Oh, crap. This up? Okay, I'm good. You go back and you look at Xbox and say, if the only premium thing we have on Game Pass is freaking Call of Duty, we are cooked. Because that is our bread. Activision bread was Call of Duty, World of Warcraft, and I think like Overwatch or something like that, right? Them, like World of Warcraft fans, I can't speak on that. I know nothing about that. They had King too, so like Candy Crush and stuff like that. I can't speak on World of Warcraft. But Activision literally was like, bro, we are making money hand over fist on these Call of Duty ugly skins. This game that's going to be $70 and it's the same copy and paste. Every Call of Duty is a guaranteed top selling game of the year every single year. And you take that away to make Game Pass look better, nobody's going to make Game Pass. Then you can get even deeper, and we ain't got time. There's people who know Game Pass subscriptions and stuff like that, how many people got it, and things of that nature, how many people playing it, what games they play. And Xbox got the data too. And I'm pretty sure them niggas are like, what's the wait? People get mad at us or us are going broke? Cause
yeah, $300 million lost.
Yeah, like
Call of Duty, that's a lot of money.
Like you go, you think Microsoft looking at that like niggas, y'all bought that? Because like people don't realize, people think Microsoft and Xbox is like this thing. No, that's their boss. Niggas like
Microsoft is like Microsoft told Phil Spencer.
Yeah, TikTok. Microsoft can go. There's a chart that you can look up of like the things Microsoft make money from. Xbox is a small piece of that pie.
Very small.
It's an extremely small piece. They can go without consoles because guess what? Every computer that you would ever boot up that don't got an Apple logo on there is using their system, right? So Microsoft is good. And this is not a hatred on Xbox, because I think that competition that the 360 gave the PS3 created one of the greatest gaming generations of all time, bro.
Was needed. That competition was needed because Sony got complacent.
Created friendships because of that because of what that Xbox had did to them niggas, bro. Okay, so competition is good. Nintendo is in a lane of its own, so there's not going to be Xbox going Nintendo versus PlayStation. Them two Japanese companies are going to shake their hands and say, "Well done,
we won."
We won. And I just think of like what Xbox messed up on throughout the years, and I think the biggest of it is not going further after the Japanese fan base in Japan. I think that was big.
And wanting to focus on being an all-in-one entertainment platform for some reason.
Yeah, and trying to be that all-entertainment platform. Like Sony in the PS3 era, they did a good job of like saying, you know, we games, and play Blu-ray too. That was a good idea. That was a fair, because it wasn't all so much on we play Blu-ray discs on this PlayStation 3. It was like we got games and also play Blu-ray discs. And people look back at that and be like, and at the time people didn't really care, but people look back and be like, yo, it was kind of fire that PS3 played Blu-ray discs, because it was fire. And the Xbox One hurt it though. And the Xbox Series S is S. I think the S definitely hurt it though. But it wasn't a bad idea to try to make a more affordable console, and especially looking back
at the time, because now it's not.
It's kind of, you know, dang, that thing ain't affordable now, huh? But
it's $400.
Yeah, we can. But no, I just think, man, you know, I wanted them to do it. Even though how much it'd be cool for me to play the Halo series for the first time. Yes, I never played the Halo series, lick my nuts. For me to play the Halo series for the first time on the PlayStation, I still kind of don't want them niggas to go out that sad, to be honest with you, right? And this would never happen with Sony, right? But Sony, you see them people going multi-plat with you, give them niggas Last of Us 1. Give them niggas Spider-Man 1.
Throw them a bone, man.
You ain't gotta do this to them. Every PlayStation player has played that game. Every PC player who wanted to play that game played it. I'm pretty sure Steam got them PlayStation games on super sale right now. Let them niggas play them games, bro. Like, that's it. And one last thing, right? For people who go with this exclusive thing, I think Xbox going third party will be great, because I don't know if you look in like gaming space now, but third party games are dominating. Okay, PlayStation do got two good first party games and with technically with Death Stranding, even though that's still a third party company, PlayStation just helped it. And then with Ghost of Tsushima with Sucker Punch, Ghost of Yotei with Sucker Punch.
But that's a timed exclusive, because that's gonna go to PC eventually.
But third party, every other game except for Donkey Kong and technically Hades, it's all third party juggernauts running the gaming space. I think PlayStation knows that too. That's why I can take his time when making first party games, because they know you're not competing with some of these niggas. And it's crazy because PlayStation about to make some mistakes too. Yes, it's gonna happen. I think they're gonna wait before they up the price of PlayStation Plus, but it's gonna happen. PlayStation Plus is not the greatest value.
I think sucks.
It sucks.
It sucks.
I got it because I like playing classic games. You know, and I platinum Toy Story 2. That's how much I like playing them classic games in my childhood. But I don't think it's worth it. I pay for the year, so I don't have to look back on it and pay every month. So I don't think it's worth it. And so on and so forth. But tell us what y'all think, man. And I want like legit discussion. I can care less about memes and jokes and stuff like that. Nigga, we laugh on the day the news drop. But I think this discussion needs to be had between the community and not just shareholders and executives and devs and stuff like that. Because it's looking bleak, my nigga. Costco is liquidating them systems. That's scary.
Costco said, "Yeah, Brody." And then overseas, I'm telling you, Japan does not care about the Xbox.
It's crazy.
It's not
absolutely crazy. And
at all.
Niggas don't know what the outcome can be for that company. I don't know what's the. This is what we do to get back.
It's a toss up of what's gonna happen next generation. It's kind of scary too, because like I do not want to live in a world where my only choices for gaming hardware is Nintendo and Sony. I don't, because we've seen what happens when Sony gets complacent. PS3. So competition is good, and at the end of the day, we're not coming up like, again, because I don't want people to accuse us of being Sony ponies and you guys just hate it. No, I want Xbox to do good. Game Pass, regardless of everything we said, Game Pass from a consumer perspective before the $30 end price was a great investment. As in, like, if you're someone, even if you are somewhat casual, you pay like $19 a month, like to 22, depending on like 20 something, depending on taxes or whatever tier you get, with the PC gaming pass and stuff like that. I think it's $9 if you just want the console, but like you pay less than $30 and you get access to all of these games on your platform. And that is a W. Game Pass from a consumer, and that I've always made that the nuance of it, right? Because people talk about business, all business. It's bad for Xbox, it's bad. As a consumer, it's like I care, but up to a certain point. As a consumer, as someone who just wants to sit down and play video games, Game Pass was a W. It was just a way for me to pay a subscription service and I'm able to just play games. So I don't want to see anything bad happen to Game Pass, because ultimately I think that it as a concept is great for gaming. It just needs to be fine-tuned, and it does not need to be messed up by greed. So again, like Detro said, let us know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you guys think about Xbox? What do you think about the price increase? What do you think about for the future of Xbox? Do you think we can get an Xbox Series Z or 720, whatever they will, if they decide to make new hardware? What do you guys think about that? We want to know. We want to engage with in the comment section down below. And with that being said, we are done. We said this was going to be a short episode. It was not.
Hey, bro, you get the Yap brothers involved, bro.
Yeah, Sam.
I be keeping.
We talk about.
I be like, bro, we be yapping, bro. I be trying to be concise.
We be talking a lot. I mean, that's what happens when you passionate about something. You like to talk about it a lot. So again, any of the conversations that we talked about, as far as like upcoming games, the shows that Ditro covered, Ghost of Yotei, and the two topics that we talked as far as EA going private and Xbox being Xbox, let us know what your thoughts on any of those topics. Again, we want to engage with you guys. We want to have some discussions with y'all. And if you are, for any of our new subscribers, if you stuck around for the whole video, again, you a real one. We appreciate you for sure. Thanks again so much. Like and subscribe if you have not. Tune in. Obviously, we're trying to, again, I know we said every week, but I had an excuse last week. I was moving. So that's why we didn't get an episode last week, but we are trying to be more consistent with the uploads for Attack on Culture. So stay tuned with us, and also stick around for other content that we have on our channel moving forward. All that being said, guys, God bless. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you next time.
Peace out.